American Airlines Center in Dallas, Texas for the Stars and the Canadiens. Here are tonight's Kia starting goalies.
Kari Lehtinen was a major factor in the Stars' December surge. The Big Finn has allowed 2 goals or fewer in 5 of his last 6 starts, something he did just once in his first 7 games in December. The other end, Carey Price, having a stellar season in the Habs net. He's closing in on his 20th win. His save percentage is 5th best amongst starters, and he was terrific in that 2-1 win over the Stars in Montreal.
Alex Chiasson, the Montreal native, beyond the ice to start the game. Dallas' second pick, 38th in the 09 draft. Hasn't scored many goals lately, but he did have 2 assists in that New Year's Eve win over the Los Angeles Kings. And he is on the right side. Tyler Seguin in the middle, Jamie Benn on the left. They flip-flopped him a little bit into that game the other night, he and Val Nichushkin. Nichushkin had been playing exclusively on the right side on that line for some time. Lars Eller, Brandon Preston, Alex Galchenyuk up front for the Montrealers. Eller beats Seguin in the face-off circle. Francis Bouillon, and there's Pete K. Subban up ahead to center ice. Galchenyuk, who was born in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, by the way. Played it in deep, and Chiasson takes Eller's hit and moves it. Goligoski and Dillon open on the back end for Lindy Ruff, and Chiasson trying to catch up to a puck at the Montreal line. Eller coming back into his zone, walked right into Chiasson, who slaps it around the boards. Jamie Benn in deep. Jamie's got a 4-game point streak coming into play tonight. There's only Tyler Seguin in team scoring. Seguin chasing at center, strips Galchenyuk. Dallas in mid-change, and Seguin knocks it in. Garbutt going in with Subban in the corner. Roussel trying to come up with the puck. Their center iceman coming into the play late, Cody Eakin. 2 from each team. Stars whip it out, and Rome fails to hold it in at the line. Aaron Rome and Jordy Benn on the back end together again. Stars slam it in. Price is back of his net. Roussel trips on his way to the puck. Markov had the contact there. And it's played across to the 35-year-old Russian defenseman who's having a good season. Thomas Plekanec hands it over. And Gionta nudged off the puck by Val Nichushkin at the Dallas line. Eakin finding Cole into the zone, barreling in. Cole, backhand, shot it. Oh, he hit the bar.
He had him beat. What a rush.
The Canadians thought he was going to pass it over to Nichushkin, but he just hit the Jets and in he went. Playing with a lot of confidence right now. Center iceman is Rich Beverly, and again, the 18-year-old rookie is on the other side. Rafael Diaz moved it over. Oh, Crankshaft fires it in. Gionta whipped it into the corner, looks for the return pass back of the net. And Goligoski can't get away from Plekanec. The Stars turn it over. Bork went to the front of the net. Now so does Gionta. Save Lehtinen, and the rebound is cranked wide off Lehtinen.
Off the pipe, too, I think. Both goal nets have been heard from. Bork at one end, Cole at the other.
Fiddler trying it. And the Canadians catch him. It was Douglas Murray. Fiddler. Rafael Diaz blocks that out of play.
Eric Cole, who is skating as well as he has since coming from the Montreal Canadiens, gets this chance. He splits Georges and Markov. Yeesh. And had Carey Price, in full retreat. Nice manipulation on the forehand. Price lost it. He dusted it off so much. And the chance at the other end, off the little backhand nudge by Gionta. I don't think Kari Lehtinen found that through the traffic in front. And Bork, who hasn't scored very many goals for Montreal. His last goal was November 5th, hit the pipe.
Dallas wins the faceoff. Chiasson locked up. Colton Sevier is back with the Stars. Stars have Horkoff and Whitney attending to some flu bug issues. So be careful with Sevier on the call-ups. They're monitoring it closely. They don't want to expose him to waivers. And Dustin Jeffries steals it from Subban. And his pass blocked. Desharnais got a stick on it. And Naughton cranks it over the top of the net. And Montreal clears. Goes right back in. Both teams will make changes. Canadians have the puck. They have a record of 23-14-4. This game tonight is their 42nd, so it starts the second half of the season. They're third in the Atlantic Division, fourth in the Eastern Conference. And an icing call coming against Montreal.
Well, Lindy Ruff dangled a carrot in front of the Stars of not having a New Year's Day practice if they were successful on New Year's Eve against the Kings. No doubt he'd like a repeat performance, although I don't think he's dangling anything in front of him prior to this one here tonight. Just like to keep things rolling. This could be a bit of a dangerous game here tonight. You got an Eastern Conference club. Don't have a lot of animosity with. Coming off New Year's Eve and all that.
Jamie Benn faceoff wins. Seguin had his shot blocked. Connaughton goes back to the net. Now Seguin. The Canadians is without his stick to Bournival. Cameron Gauns gave it to Benn. On top, Seguin lost it. Benn passed across. Connaughton will find it and pivot away and then shot it. And a save from Carey Price. Josh Georges in the corner. Pivots away and finds Bournival, who's got a stick. Comes to center ice. Chiasson took him off the puck. And Bournival unable to escape. He's trapped offside.
Michel Therrien and his team blew a 3-0 third period lead in Carolina on New Year's Eve, and then they spent New Year's Eve on the plane flying here. Lack of discipline was the culprit. Basically a conga line to the penalty box for the Canadians. So I would expect a disciplined effort out of them tonight in that regard. And they're really not a club that takes a lot of penalties or gets on the power play all that much. And yet their special teams are outstanding. Top 10 in both power play and penalty killing.
And they nudge it across the line. Eller poking at it. Lettman sticked it away. Brandon Prust back of the net. Goligoski following him. Eakin will pick him up. He gave it to Eller, back to Prust. Galchenyuk's in front of the net, but the Canadians turn it over. Out comes Garbutt with Roussel to the Montreal line. Poke checked away, and Prust is sort of behind the Dallas defense, but now he backs out. Goligoski with a pass that hits Garbutt's stick. He and Diaz going into the corner. Roussel also creating some havoc there. And here come the Canadians. Gionta fanned on a pass at the Dallas line, but they carry on, and Bork went off Kari Lettman and wide of the net.
Boy, both decors are having a tough time in the early going, handling players off the rush.
Aaron Rome finally tapped it over to Cody Eakin, and here come the Stars. Eakin to Rome at the line. He'll shoot it in. Al Nichushkin chasing Douglas Murray. He gave it to Diaz. Plekanec through center ice. Cole took it away. Nichushkin bumped off the puck by Murray. And it's going to go right in on Lettman, so there's no icing. Max Pacioretty, the guy we talked about in the open, number 67, but the Stars are countering. Here comes Peverley into the zone. Shot at save Price. The assists have been coming lately for Peverley, but not the goals. He's got 5 helpers in his last 7 games. Pacioretty up ahead. Shot it out of the corner. Goligoski beating Gallagher to it. Desharnais overskates the puck, and out come the Stars. Peverley at center to Cole. Tried to pass it to Nichushkin. Pacioretty came back for the play.
Boy, skate. These clubs are moving here early.
Nichushkin knocked to the ice. He still battles underneath Subban. Gallagher turned it over to Fiddler. Tried to go in front to Jeffrey Endor. Nichushkin. It was blocked.
Bouillon with a good defensive play after a terrible decision to put that in the middle by Gallagher.
And another icing against Montreal.
Well, Bork's had 2 good scoring chances here in the opening few minutes. Last one, I'm telling you, it's a carbon copy. Jordy Benn went for the puck. Instead, the vacilinity of Bork slipped it around. Stunning stop by Kari Lettman in tight. Keep this scoreless.
Connaughton shooting it. Price kicked it away to the corner. Actually used his blocker. Now here's Benn. Scores! Set up from Tyler Seguin, and the Stars are on the board. It's 1-0.
You'd see Ben say, what a pass. On the benefit of icing, defensive team can't change. Offensive team can. Lindy Ruff brings his top line. They win the draw. And then they change the point of attack after that initial bid toward the net. They use the width of the ice. Great work by Seguin. He hits Ben on the far side. One-timer, not a big slapper, just gets it away quick. Let the stick do the work on that one and right through the pillows of Carey Price, who couldn't get there in time. Boy, is Ben hot right now. Got a couple of left wingers on those top two lines that can't miss.
Ben extends his current point streak to 5 games. That's his 14th goal of the season. Tyler Seguin's 20th assist and 40th point to lead all Stars. Eakin down the wing. Jarvik going in there. Plekanec. Eakin carries it back of the net. Rushed it off the boards to Rome. Kevin Connaughton also getting an assist on the play. He'll get the second helper. Jordy Ben deep on the attack. Roussel is covering at the right point, and the puck comes to him in the high slot, but he has to turn to find it. Now he's shot it. Gionta blocks. Roussel barging in there with Georges. Markov holding up Eakin. Roussel is right back in there in the corner. Plekanec took him off his skates, and it cost him his stick. Montreal clears. What a brisk opening 7 minutes to this game. And Jordy Ben with a pass to Peverley. Nichushkin tried to kick it to his stick. Lost it at center ice. Travis Moen over skates.
I got to think the Canadians came into the game talking a lot about being good in neutral ice in between the two blue lines. Try to put speed bumps up against Dallas's speed.
What to do? Cornwall shot it over. Moen finding the puck, getting away from Peverley. Shot it. White was going to the front of the net, and that Stars had that defended. Goligoski did.
The guys have had happy hands here in the early going, too. Big hit on Nichushkin right in front of the Stars bench from Crankshaft.
That'll do it.
For Villebrequin.
That's right.
Do you want to do it in French?
Did we get that right?
I think so.
And there's Murray putting it out to center ice. Cornwall between the benches. Jeffrey pinning him. Puck slips back into the Dallas zone. Crust eagerly after it, but never gets him to the puck. Crust went hacking away at Goligoski. Stars attempt to get it out.
Another broken stick. Fiddler broke his stick. And the Habs are going to the box.
Under 12 minutes to play in the first period, and Dallas stays hot. How about that guy? Stars captain Jamie Benn for a 1-0 lead.
Galchenyuk in the box for the Habs. Stars going on the power play, and it is starting to find its way. It's come out of its dormant state. Scored 2 power play goals to power themselves past the LA Kings here on New Year's Eve. Similar fashion, too. Shots towards the net, rebounds. The second one, Sagan's goal, was off the end boards. Still a power play goal. Confidence, big part of power plays, and they have to start feeling it now.
Shot right out the power play win, and Sagan just missed the net. Ben digs it out in the corner. Sagan backing out to the left point. Goligoski at the right. Ben to Sagan. Wanted a shooting lane, none opened up for him. Sagan again, shot it. Jason threw his legs back out to Ben. Cole's in front of the net. Cole battling to try and keep that puck in. He did, and then the Stars have to reorganize outside the line. Montreal top 5 in the NHL in penalty killing. Plekanec in, and he rifles it over the top of the net.
And they can counter, too. They're one of the better teams in scoring shorthanded goals. They have 4 of them.
4 different guys, each with 1. Sagan off to the side, all the way across. Oh, and Price made the stop on Cole. Kari Lehtonen getting out ahead of Prust. Long pass ahead, Sagan to Eakin into the zone. Eakin leaving it. Sagan again, a shot. That's blocked.
You can tell who blocked it. Crankshaft stinging from that one.
Sagan still out here. 45 left on the power play. So is Ben. White with a look. There's Ben. Shooting it. Saved Price. He swallows it.
That's what I'd do, too, if I was on the #1 unit and you got it going on a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, just look at the bench, but keep going. They came close. Real close. Good look at Eric Cole, who's made the power play hum a little bit lately. This one, he's had opportunities. This one, a toe drag spinning stop by Carey Price from a severe angle.
Dallas wins another faceoff. Connaughton from the high slot. That one's blocked by Georges.
With purpose.
Kicked it right to the boards. Connaughton scrambling over at the right point. To Peverley, off to Eakin. To Chushkin's at the side of the net. Jordy Ben sneaking down, and the pass came over, but it's broken up.
They didn't have that defended that well. Easy to see from up here, a little more difficult from ice level. Good movement on Dallas's 2 power play units on the first opportunity.
Kevin Connaughton breezing his way into the zone, pulling up against Murray. Gionta got a stick too. Markov hauling after the puck. They didn't score, but it looked like a power play.
It's about how you see the number 1 road penalty kill against the number 30 home power play. A saw-off.
Roussel threw it over the line. Canadians spit it right back up. Plekanec leaves it. Here comes Gionta. They're onside. Goligoski takes the man. Fiddler the puck. Using the boards, Roussel is engaged. Dillon to the line, not out. Shoveled into the corner. Bork's after it. Goligoski moves it swiftly, and here comes Fiddler with Montreal backing out. A little open ice. Away from Desharnais to Garbutt at the line. Threw his legs to Fiddler. Popped it over to Roussel. And a couple of just abouts, and now they spring Pacioretty into the zone. He shoots. He scores. And the Canadians have tied it at 1.
Well, coming out of that penalty kill, they get the mammoth stop by Price. Gallagher ended up down on the ice. Looked like he got a skate in the leg. And off of that turnover, the Stars had both defensemen, Rome and Dillon, up ice. PK Subban is one of the best outlet passing defensemen in the league. Springs Pacioretty, and he pounds this under the glove of Kari Lehtonen. Excitement on the tail end of it. Just talked about him. Man, is he on a hot streak right now.
With 16 goals in his last 21 games.
You can play him to shoot. I can tell you that. That's 18 goals and 4 assists for Max Pacioretty.
Tyler Seguin trying to get a step on Rafael Diaz. Murray going in there. Seguin recognized it. PK Subban with the assist. 2 of the Canadians' top 4 scorers and their top 2 assist men are both defensemen. Subban added to it there. And it's a 1-1 game.
It's like a continuation of that little video package we ran in the open of Subban passing to Pacioretty and him scoring goals.
Stars now rumble back in. Peverley all the way across. Cole, a shot, save, Price, and another scramble at the side of the net. John's keeping it in, whipping it at the net, and a knuckleballing shot is held.
It's unfettered out here tonight.
Wonderful start. If you like a little this and that, there's that. Pacioretty ties the game at 1.
Question now for the Canadians, is anybody else other than Pacioretty going to score? Give him that opportunity. Stars ended up mixed up, I think, with their D-men on that, where Rome had come on the ice, and both Rome and Dillon were playing the left side. Nobody was playing the right.
This one catapults back into the Dallas zone. And Rome took it ahead of Bork. Case in point, he's got 5 goals this season, Bork does, but not since early November has he last scored. He had some injury problems, too. They carry it on back of the net. Gionta picking up. Plekanec was looking to shoot it, and Nichushkin intercepts, and here comes the big Russian. Into the zone against Markov. Backhander. Save Price.
You know, a month and a half, 2 months ago, he would have tried to go to the middle on that rush, understanding no, take it wide, rip it at the net.
Worked it to Cole, who sent it through, and Peverley couldn't get there.
That was the lesson that he was taught when we were in Denver early on from Sergei Gonchar. Take what's given. The outside was given there against Markov, and he took it.
Chiasson curling up against Pacioretty. Twisting away from him, he lost him at the line. Now going to work against Bouillon back of the net. Chiasson trying to stay strong on the puck. Ran into a couple of Canadians. Seguin lurking. So is Dillon, who shot it, saved Price. Seguin, shot from Goligoski, went wide. They try and funnel it back in front. Ben did, and Price shut it down.
Tyler Seguin has his feet jumping out there tonight, and he's one of those rare individuals whose eyes and hands keep up to his legs. can move around the rink, hustles after a shot on net. That's a couple of times the Stars have been able to make plays off of the initial shot toward the net. Second one plowed wide. Hustling toward it is Jamie Benn. They've had nice primacy on the puck as they've gotten after it. It's either a multi-point game or nothing for him lately. He's halfway to a multi-point already in this one.
Fiddler wins it, and the shot went wide for Sevier. It's tipped. Connaughton takes it deep. George is stalling him there. And Sevier passing it off. It ricocheted in front. Jeffrey keeps it in. Markov will go back and try it again.
Well, the Stars are playing quick and together right now.
Sevier knocked it away from Prust. Shot from the wing is wide. Connaughton firing it. That's blocked. But they do have 10 shots already on Price.
It's how they're going about their business, though.
Connaughton forcing Prust. Jeffrey sends it deep to Sevier.
Just a swarm.
It's a victory green everywhere you look. Jeffrey going in after it. Another broken stick on the ice. And belongs to Cameron Gaunce. He goes to the Dallas bench for a change. Rome comes on.
Well, you watch the way the game has unfolded. There has been a lot of stick-on-stick checking. And because of that, I think you've seen a lot of these sticks get hacked in half or fail. Stars have a power play goal because of that.
Here comes Roussel. Shooting it around the boards. Price back of the net. Eakin coming. Swatted it off Price's stick, but the Canadians possess. Gallagher unable to hold it. And Rome up ahead to center ice. Garbutt was ahead of it. Canadians try it again. Pacioretty down the wing through Gallagher's skates. Lands on the fallen stick in the corner. Stays in. Pacioretty, a shot saved Lettinen. Pacioretty bunts it back. Subban walks the line. Deep to Desharnais. Gallagher pushing off in front of the net with Rome. Desharnais passing to Pacioretty. Shot it. Looking for the tip in front from Gallagher. And the puck finds the screen. Under 5 minutes to play in the opening period. The Dallas Stars' fourth game of a 5-game homestand. Looking for points again tonight, and they're tied at 1.
Hockey does not allow you to play with 2 sticks, and it's a difficult game to play without a stick. Brendan Gallagher ended up without his stick. That's foreshadowing, though. So he continues on. Might want to get some baby powder on those gloves. A little slippery, a little difficulty with the exchange, but his first stick in the corner helps set up this chance for Pacioretty in tight. Boy, he shoots the puck hard. Quite a sequence. Terrible baton toss, might add, or exchange on their bench.
Another guy who's having a little trouble with his stick. When he does have it in his hands, he's got just 1 goal in his last 16 games, despite having 10 this season. 4:45 to play in the first. Pacioretty has 2 of Montreal's 5 shots and their lone goal. Jamie Benn got the Stars on the board first, and a puck into the Dallas bench here.
Can you imagine Pacioretty and Eric Cole were on the same line in Montreal? They had Desharnais in the middle of them, a couple of 30-goal scorers. Got together last night, caught up with one another. Cole's been terrific. He was that King Cole, I guess, on New Year's Eve. The pair in a first-star selection against LA. A couple of whistles here have slowed up Dallas's flow here. They were really rocking. Habs must have felt like there was 6 or 7 or 8 Stars on the ice. Difficulty dropping this puck right now.
They drop it here. And rolling on end back into the Dallas zone. Goligoski is there ahead of Bork. Dillon with a good pass. Beverly finds Nichushkin. Big battle against Bouillon. Trying to get past him. Can't do it. Subban back of the net. Cole scrapes it off the boards. Puts it right back towards Subban. Nichushkin was there physically. And he'll go after him again. Subban shielding Nichushkin from the puck. Bork spinning, getting it out. And no icing. Dillon got it around. Alex Goligoski Goligoski is Dallas' ice time leader, playing about 24 minutes a night. Diaz shoots it around the boards. Pacioretty missed it, but he hit Brendan Dillon. Gallagher back to Murray at the line. In deep and around. Stars get it out past Diaz, no icing. And Price has options. Ben tried to close one of them off. Seguin back of the net for Chiasson. For Seguin. There's Jamie Benn. Twisting it out to brother Jordy for a shot, and that went off Diaz and maybe Price too. Ben has to chase the pass to center ice.
Boy, Desharnais would have been gone. I think he got his stick fouled up with Gallagher, his own teammate.
3 minutes to play in a rapidly moving first period in Dallas. 1-1 score. Travis Moen, remember him from his days in Anaheim on that 07 Cup team. There goes Fiddler. Got Dustin Jeffrey and Colton Senior with him, and there's an offside against the Stars, ruled intentionally so.
This group on defense has played well. Cameron Gaunce with a little slalom course in his own zone. Good patience. One of those guys, if in this lineup right now, if you don't notice his 15 minutes in the game, it's a good thing. Sweet little smart exit out of their own end. He was pinned down in the corner, went one way, went the other, and then dumped it right in the middle where he had support from Fiddler. So
Dallas has had to call up these young defensemen. Long-term injuries to Stefan Robidas, Trevor Daley. Sergei Gonchar is getting closer. This group is held together well.
More than well.
Yeah, really well.
7-3-2 record since both Robidas and Daley went out of the lineup.
And there goes Connaughton. Sprint was wheeling it out. Canadians called for a hand pass at the Dallas line.
Gives an opportunity to remind you, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game. Brought to you by Miller Lite. Lindy Ruff likes what he's seen so far here tonight from his crew. Good pace. One little mental error and breakdown, a turnover up ice, a miscue in positioning defensively. Otherwise, this would be a near perfect opening period for them.
Bears have a record of 20 wins, 12 losses, and 7 extra period points. 2 points out of the top 8 in the Western Conference. Much tougher in the West. Ooh, Nichushkin, that poke checked away by Plekanec. Subban buying a little time and space against Cole. Gianta forwarding it to the 31-year-old Czech Plekanec. Sends it down the wall. Jordy Ben for Aaron Rome. And Rome with a good play. Cole to Nichushkin at the line. Tried to walk it against Bouillon. And he's had no luck a couple of times. And a penalty coming here against Dallas.
It's going to be on Nichushkin out of that Mortal Kombat in front of the Habs bench. The lightly penalized, I might add, Val Nichushkin.
Dallas penalty, 2-minute minor for holding the stick.
Just his third minor. Turns the puck over and then grabs onto the well. That is easy evidence on Bouillon. Came in tied with Seguin and Kari Lehtinen with 4 penalty minutes. Kari's got 4.
Kari's got, does Kari have 3 assists? Something like that, huh? Could be defending here against a Montreal power play that's really good, but they've been a little bit stuck lately. Subban to Markov. They did get a couple the other night against Carolina. Pacioretty, he's got 6 to lead the way for them. Out to Markov, to Subban. Cranked it down to Desharnais. Into the corner. Pacioretty. Subban shot it. Blocked in front by Goligoski, who outmuscled his man Gallagher. Dallas coming short-handed. Roussel deep in the corner, and this time he makes the pass out of the zone and right on the money for Goligoski.
Tried that the other night and turned it over. This time a little more aware, spatially aware, and gets it to a guy in the same color jersey.
Here comes Subban. He's got 12 power play assists this season, but lost it at the line.
The 2 guys on the points are the engine to their power play. Ooh, dangerous play by Price there. Markov and Subban on the point make it happen.
And icing against Montreal on the power play, and they're not pleased.
No, it went through a few bodies on its way down. PK Subban got that wicked shot. Teams play him to shoot it, I think, but he can move it as well. I got to think a lot of the points produced by him are from that point shot and rebounds on their power play.
Cody Eakin wins the faceoff. Dallas has won 2 out of every 3 tonight in the circle. Gionta takes Plekanitz's pass into the zone. Swings wide, puts it back in the net. Cork lingering in front. Jordy Ben on his backhand, using the boards to clear. Subban meandering his way across the Dallas line. Only to find more problems. Markov shot blocked by Jordy Ben, and he clears.
Boy, they've just asphyxiated this first Habs power play tonight.
Connaughton was waiting for that pass from Subban to Bourque.
A good read on that one.
And so the seconds tick off. Subban pumps it all the way down the ice.
Whoa.
Wow.
Kari Lehtinen could not see that. It came right through the 2 players in neutral ice, Plekanec and his own defenseman, and he had to make a reflexive save from 190 feet away. Subban just wasting one near his goal line, sails down, and then a mini free. Watch Lehtinen. Oh, there it is. That thing might have curved and twisted a little on him, too. Just keep it out. Well, textbook hockey from the Stars in the opening period, but they're tied.
Dallas Stars' 4th game of a 5-game homestand. They have wins over Nashville and Los Angeles and an overtime point against the St. Louis Blues. And tonight, they're deadlocked with the Montreal Canadiens 1-1 after 1 period at American Airlines Center in Dallas. A little chilly tonight in the Metroplex, but not bad. Stars won and the Canadiens won after 20 minutes. And Mr. 2 goals a night lately was featured in our first period racer. Here's the AT&T U-verse rewind.
Well, Eric Cole, he lines up at left wing, but he doesn't always stay there. He had multiple opportunities to cash in the opening period from all over the place, both left, right, and right down the middle of the rink. Carey Price with a couple of dandy saves. He hit the pipe early in that opening period. Just skating well, obviously comfortable with things. 4 of his 5 goals have been scored in second periods during this little run here on home ice, so that's foreshadowing the second. And just the switch from left to right, you know, you got to downplay it a little bit, but he had scored just 1 goal at home prior to December 19th in 14 games. They moved him over to the left wing side when we were in Vancouver. He's taken off since then. 9 goals, lots of points, a plus player, the leadership within the group as well. Can't ask for much more from that individual. Certainly not in the last couple of weeks.
Now Nichushkin in the box to start the second period for just 11 seconds, and
they're really struggling to get this puck on the ice to start it off.
The Canadiens are struggling in the circle, and I mean big time. Dallas owned them in the first period. 15 of 17 draws.
Well, they were not very good. They started with the puck very seldom in Carolina on New Year's Eve, too.
Another one. Cody Eakin is 4 for 4 in the circle. And Val's already standing.
I think that's an area the Canadiens really need to shore up going forward, is down the middle of the rink. They're small.
Kari Lehtinen plays this to the line, and Cody Eakin will take it and go against Georges all the way in. Eakin shot it, and a save. Price with the pad. Dillon pumping it over the top of the net, off the high glass to the line. Goligoski in on the pad, but he took it outside the line first.
Pretty good chance by Cody Eakin. Nice work by Markov to back up his defense partner this time and at least force him wide. Markov in the middle. Reads that he has help coming back in Gionta. Goes to the shooter, and Carey Price with a twinkle toe save on a hot shot from Eakin. Scored the Stars' only goal in Montreal. Boy, that line's been good during this homestand.
PK Subban bangs it ahead to center ice. Jamie Benn. The 2 of them fight with sticks at center. The Stars fire it in.
Ben had a little swashbuckle.
Here's Subban. Desharnais cradling it, taking it in. Pacioretty is shot. Third shot of the game, and a save from Kari Lettman.
See if we'll get a little extra after the whistle. More so in the second period than in the first. Some guys that give you a little extra all the time are the two wingers with Cody Eakin. What about that line for penalty minutes? Roussel has 96 to lead the team. He's 10th amongst forwards in the NHL in minor penalties. Eakin only 10 minutes in the middle. He's the good guy. And then 45 minutes in penalties on the right with Garbutt. It's like Cody and the Pym twins.
Cody Eakin's a nice young man, isn't he?
Just goes about his business. Try not to bother anyone. The other two are bothersome.
Just drive you nuts. Jamie Benn, Alex Chiasson fighting the puck inside the Stars line. Subban pumps it up the middle. Here comes Desharnais. Chiasson gave him a whack. Desharnais all the way around, centered it. Subban dragging it, threw it in front, score! Desharnais. PK Subban with a lot of the heavy lifting, and the Canadians lead it 2-1.
Lots of people were involved in this go-ahead goal for the Habs. Desharnais came in with just a goal in his last dozen games. Gallagher, though, goes to the front of the net. Not a big guy, but he drops anchor right in front. Subban does a lot. 2 primary assists for Subban in the game already. Kari Lettinen got all twisted up. Here's Gallagher in front. Well, there were a lot of people in and around. I don't know why Kari Lettinen got as buckled as he did on that one, unless his skate clicked into his own defenseman. Their top center iceman has him ahead.
Desharnais' 5th of the season. Subban's 2nd assist of the night. And Montreal takes their first lead. Connaughton came in, but the puck evades him and goes to center ice for Cameron Gauntz. Down the Chushkin, lost it. White rolling in for a shot. Save Lettinen. Connaughton took Mullen all the way inside the net.
Hit Lettinen right in the mask.
And here's Beverly. Gallagher also getting assist on the play. Cole is into the zone for Nichushkin. A shot. He rifled it up high.
Went fight behind the play.
It's Gauntz and Ryan White.
Well, White came and rocked Peverly, and Gauntz jumped in immediately to engage him.
Gauntz shot a little right in him. And now the wrestling match. And the linesman makes sure that that is all.
It was Greco-Roman wrestling, that one. Kudos to Cameron Gauntz for jumping right in there. Lettinen went to the bench right now to get his mask repaired. White, the guy who got into the pugilistic set there, ripped it right off his forehead to start things off. And then he filled in Peverly along the boards. Peverly gets rid of it. Big collision over there, and Gauntz was immediately heading in that direction. I got to think that Michel Therrien, in between periods, appealed to his team's manhood a little bit. They got run over in the face-off circle. They didn't have the puck all that much in the first period. They've come out, been a little more prickly here in the opening few minutes of the second period, and have generated the go-ahead goal.
Offsetting penalties to each. I'm assuming 5 for fighting. We stay 5-on-5 on the ice. Fiddler and Lars Eller. Eller wins a rare draw for the Canadians tonight. Frost trying to engage at the line. Canadians get it out. Galchenyuk after the puck. Dillon turned it over in front. Galchenyuk shot it. Save Lettinen. Rebound. Lettinen is sort of scrambling outside of his net. Good pass from Goligoski to Spring Sevier. Fiddler back to Sevier. In front. He had a man breaking. It was Jeffrey. Jeffrey behind the net. Passing to Fiddler. Sevier standing in front of the goal. Sevier's 8th game of the year. He's got 3 goals. Leads the American Hockey League in goal scoring. Dustin Jeffrey's shot is hampered. And Galchenyuk's pass to the Dallas line. Goligoski up ahead to Jamie Benn. Benn's got the Stars' only goal tonight. Extending to 5 his current point streak. Sagan was reaching for it. Price coming out. He butts it away from Tyler Sagan.
That's where that area where goalies can't handle the puck really comes into play there. You can see it. Just so stupid.
When are they going to change it? Rome finds Tyler Seguin against PK Subban. Seguin. And that pass rockets away from Jordy Ben.
It was a hot one.
Letton to Jordy Ben. Off to Rome. Up ahead to Jamie. Ben into the zone. Heaved it toward the net, but weakly, and Price gets the whistle.
A little shoving after the whistle again. That play by Brendan Dillon. It's a soft play up the boards. He was being pressured by Galchenyuk. Not only did he turn it over, but he turned away from the Montreal forward, and Kari Lehtinen had to bail him out. The chance for Jeffrey off the far side, I think it was completely blocked out by the players in front. Couldn't see that gauzy little setup feed. No gaping net if he could have connected.
Jeffrey was the guy the Stars plucked off the waiver wire in November from Pittsburgh.
Stars moving people around with the advantage of getting the center kicked out here now. Anticipating that Eakin can win this.
Against Gallagher, Eakin wins it. Roussel fighting through Pacioretty. And then he's roughed up in the corner by Murray. Desharnais. Deep into the zone, Brendan Dillon. Here's the play with his stick and rattles around back there. Garbutt hacks it forward to Roussel. Swift pass. Eakin trying to catch up to it. Murray got there first. Pacioretty relays it in. Montreal goals from Pacioretty and Desharnais. Garbutt toward the net, save Price. Eakin shoved off the puck by Desharnais. Pacioretty with a pass ahead to Gallagher. Swinging wide. They're in onside, and Dillon takes the man. Garbutt trying to sneak under for the puck. Eakin with 3 halves. Garbutt and Eller jockey. Gallagher sends it over, and Pacioretty's shot blocked by Goligoski.
There were 3 Montreal Canadiens on that puck to win it and then get it across.
Oh, loose puck in the slot, and Moen belts it right in. The first bid came from Michael Bournival, and Kari got the most difficult of the 3 at the end.
Oh, the Stars in this line got standing. Now Moen and Roussel are going to go.
Roussel, Moen. They both got a couple in early. Roussel, Moen hit him with a right. Roussel coming back with the left.
Oh!
Roussel firing away, so is Moen. Roussel tagged him. Uppercut from Moen.
You can only hit guys from the nose down, though, because there's visors on both.
Moen's helmet's off. Roussel trying to exploit this. With a short left. Moen hit Roussel's visor again.
Exhaustion has to come into play here at some point. Oh, there's a short right from Moen.
Roussel swung and missed with the left. I guess that's it.
Quite a tilt. The end of a mess, though, in their own zone. Boy, they got standing and watching. The Habs have come out here with some moxie in the second and taken it to the Stars in the first 5 minutes. 3 guys all over. Eakin didn't get the puck out. That's a no-no, that space. Then they just got chasing and standing, and the puck eventually made its way to Kari Lehtinen twice. Rather buxom rebound off the original wrister from distance, and everybody just stood. Nobody marked people. Finally, Kari Lehtinen was able to close it down, and then they tried to punch each other's teeth down their throats. So we've had 2 scraps to start the second period after the Stars owned the opening frame.
And Roussel was still up and yelling at Moen from the Dallas penalty box. Now he's sitting. Sort of.
Roussel needs some repairs, whether it's on his hand or something else, so he's going to make his way across to the Stars' room. I'm surprised guys don't cut themselves more with those visors.
Wouldn't you think? So Buchanan's and Peverly. Beverly 5 for 5. But it won't
Not
be
happy
him.
getting booted out there.
See what Cole can do. Buchanan wins it. George is on top. Nichushkin came out to challenge him, and here we go again. It's Cole and Buchanan shoving with each other.
Right after that face-off. Teammates a year ago. They're both going to go. I think the referee's trying to put a cap on the nature of this second period. There's just more fight in Montreal here in the second, and they are challenging the Stars here on home ice. It's up to Dallas to handle that, stay with their game, but also have some kind of an answer to this physical challenge that the Montreal Canadiens seem to be coming with here to start the second.
2 minutes each for roughing, 4-on-4 on the ice. Peverly wins it. And Connaughton brushes it along. Peverly has Nichushkin breaking. George has knocked it down, and in comes Zeller. Centered it. Backhander by Giunta went wide. Nichushkin will try it again. Barreling up the left wing side. Nichushkin tripped up on his way to the net. And a penalty shot.
It's the season of the penalty shot. This will be the Stars' 6th. The penalty shot, never really fully understood this. If the defender gets the puck first and then cuts the guy down, it's a good play. Instead, Georges gets body and no puck. The penalty shot replaces the scoring opportunity. I think this is why you can see that the Stars are so much faster than they've ever been in past. The number of penalty shots that they've been able to produce. Vern Fiddler in Boston, Money, Nichushkin in Edmonton. No go there, so he gets his second opportunity here in seconds. Bing! Chase on against the Chicago Blackhawks here. Roussel with the winner at the UC. And then Roussel had tried the same move, got a little ahead of himself and couldn't score against Nashville at the beginning of this homestand. So here we go.
He had a big December, 5 goals, 12 points, and a +12. Val Nichushkin on a penalty shot to try and tie the game. Early in the second period, he's in, he shoots, he scores! And we are tied.
What an answer. Goes back, it's a tap from Kari Lehtinen. Rigor mortis set in on Carey Price. He was anticipating a move, not a shot. Perfect look. Put it under the glove. Over the pad. Off the pipe. A red paint chipper to tie this game at 2.
Nichushkin's 8th of the season. Penalty shot goal on the 4-on-4. And the Stars will try it again. Brendan Dillon for Alex Goligoski. Seguin and Ben up front, but they lose the puck at their own line. Ben moving to get it up. Dillon dragging it into the zone. Cross for Tyler Seguin. Spots Goligoski. Passing to Ben, but it's too hot. Price back to the net. Bouillon cranks it over to Subban. Seguin centered it, but Ben couldn't get to it. Dillon holding it in. Seguin to Ben. He shoots. He missed the net.
Does that a lot. Only Ovechkin has missed the net more than Jamie Benn.
And Alexander Ovechkin's the only 30-goal scorer in the NHL. Seguin, Dallas's 20-goal man, chasing Pacioretty. Lifting it over to Subban. Dropped his head to dig it out. Shot from Pacioretty and a save from Lehtinen.
The difference is Ovechkin also leads the NHL in shots on goal.
Yes. Subban scores! What a night for PK Subban. A goal and 2 helpers, and Montreal has their lead back.
The reigning Norris Trophy winner is blowing up in Big D. 2 primary assists. Wonderful patience on this one. Picks it up in the corner, 4-on-4. Difficult decision. Usually it's a forward that has a defenseman, not a defenseman on a defenseman. Goligoski, I think, was a little bewildered in the beginning as to who was going to take him. He got lost in one-on-one coverage. Subban.
So lots happened on this 4-on-4. Subban came into the game tied for third among NHL defensemen in scoring. He has picked up points 30, 31, and 32 tonight. Diaz puts it down, shot it wide of the net. Eller's looking for the puck. He finds it in the corner. Diaz had crept down to Naughton, shoving Eller into the wall. Gallagher, nowhere to go against Jordy. Handed it to Eller, who's crunched. And on the tie-up, the Canadians have the puck. The minors have expired. Colin Plekanec joining the Dallas zone, and Diaz's shot gobbled up by Kari Lehtinen and a little bit extra.
There's a frisky nature to this one tonight.
The NHL right now has so many great young talented players. The 18-year-old Val Nichushkin to tie the game at 2 on a penalty shot, and then how about PK Subban? 3-2 Montreal.
Val Nichushkin had just scored his first ever National Hockey League penalty shot goal. 3 things you need to know about Val. Youngest star ever. Yeah, he's 18 and wide-eyed. I am Val Nichushkin. The video, 20,000 YouTube views of his Christmas wish, which was phenomenal. And Jaromir Jagr knows a little something about big power forwards from over the Atlantic. Thinks a lot of the kid. Had a lot to say glowingly about him on the internet about 2 weeks ago, and he backs it up almost every night. He's an altitudinarian.
Yes. Okay.
He's got lofty goals for himself. He expects to be great. Gets mad at himself when he isn't. Been impactful already in this one here tonight.
An altitudinarian?
Yes.
That's how you say that?
The altitudinarian.
Altitudinarian. Back out there, face-off in the Dallas zone. Peverley and Lars Eller. Peverley wins it. Could have creamed him in the circle. Gauntz unable to get it past Prust, who has mishaps with the puck, but he got it deep to Eller. There is Val Nichushkin cranking it off the boards. Cole in a foot race with Subban. They wave it off. Peverley deep. Subban's there. Cole putting his stick in between the legs. Jam up in the corner. Subban tried to tip it ahead. Peverley toward the line, and he's got Connaughton sort of in between, but he's able to put a stop to Eller's progress. Cole knocks it in. Nichushkin will go after it, and Dallas will change. Fiddler in a hurry when crashing into Subban. Galchenyuk trying to clear. Val hanging out a little bit again. And he digs hard. He gets to the Dallas bench.
You can always stay long as you've got enough to hustle to get off. And he had plenty left.
Colton Sceviour back in the net with Subban. Worked with the Plekanec. Pass to Bourque. Prust will pick it up on his backhand. Rome knocked it off his stick. Jordy Ben with the high toss to the Montreal line. Sceviour took the hit but got it ahead. Fiddler cranks it around the boards. Goligoski off the Dallas bench to Ben. Deep to Sceviour, back of the net. Murray attacked him, and Gianta has the puck. Canadians lead the game 3-2. 11:05 to play in the second period. A very interesting game. Rapidly moving in the first period. The Stars really had their skating legs. Canadians came out with a physical intent here in the second and have overtaken the lead. Goligoski's pass skips off Markov in deep. Price waiting for it, and he'll pass it over. Desharnais to Pacioretty at center ice. Goligoski stepped up on him. And Dallas has the puck. Tyler Seguin. Couldn't quite slip. Desharnais at center ice. Chiasson fights back. Cranks it in. It'll die before the icing line. Josh Georges back of his net. He'll leave it for Andrei Markov. And Dallas will get another change. Shots are 15 apiece in the game. Desharnais on the wing. Georges whacked it off Peverley. Stars in their own zone, and Cole is hooked, but he stays with it. Penalty coming up against Montreal. Cole in. Stick checked away, and so Dallas will go on the power play.
Former line mates hooked up on that one. Pacioretty with the hook from behind. Nice balance by Cole to keep it rolling. Little turnover by the Habs. How many times do you see that? Turnovers lead to bad things, no matter where they are. One of the goal scorers for the Montreal Canadiens will sit, see if the Stars power play can get this thing knotted up again.
Pacioretty, just his 5th minor of the year.
Yeah, quite an uptick.
Yeah, a little bit. Peverley wins it cleanly. Back to Connauton. Passing over to Jordie Benn. Peverley drifts to the front of the net. Jordie Benn looking for a lane. Connauton blasting. Tipped. Off to Nichushkin. Couldn't dial it in. Diaz back of the net. Right up the middle to Connauton. On out to challenge. He moves it to Peverley in the corner with Diaz on his back. Back out to Connauton, who settles it at the left point. Passes to Jordie Benn. To Connauton straight away. Giving it to Peverley. Back out Connauton. Jordie Benn, a shot. That's blocked by Georges. Jordie will go back and get it himself. Banks it out toward the line. Peverley got there. Connauton moves it over to Cody Eakin. Nice play in front to Jordie Benn, and it's hacked to the boards. Peverley to Connauton, a drive, save, rebound, Eakin, and that one's blocked by Georges. Eakin again shooting, and Price has that in the belly.
Well, there's our spotlight backed up by one individual. Josh Georges is a tremendous penalty killer. Stars came close, pounding away. They start with this second unit. Connauton I like on the power play. He's getting more confidence. There was the save by Georges after the original one. Big looping rebound off the hot shot from the point initially. Peverley in front of the net. Connauton looked great in the middle on that set.
Stars top unit comes out. Now Tyler Seguin leads Dallas with 4 power play goals this season. He's waiting. Benn got clipped. Goes out to the line for Goligoski. Back to Cole. Goligoski straight away, passing to Cole. They want Seguin. He's got him. Seguin shot it right into Price. And Jamie Benn will check the face and see what happened.
That's the shot from Seguin that's easy to absorb for a netminder. Ben wants an explanation from somebody in a zebra outfit as to why this, it's a shooting motion, that's why. Good no call by the officials. You can follow through with a shot and clip a guy high, and it's not a minor penalty.
Even if you're not exactly shooting the puck in the offensive zone.
It is painful, though.
Yes, it still hurts.
Yeah, shooting motion is a shooting motion.
Yeah. Kari Lehtinen. Gave it to Alex Goligoski. And Seguin will take over. Half a minute remaining on the power play. Here comes Tyler Seguin into the zone. Getting away from Markov, and he shot it wide. Pass slow to get to Goligoski. On to Chiasson. In. Can't get the backhander away. He's smothered in the slot. Jamie Benn down to Cole. Kind of handcuffed him, that pass did. Seguin pulled it away. Gave it to Goligoski. Tipped it to Benn. Now he shoots just wide. Cole back of the net.
Better watch Pacioretty coming out.
He's out now, and White rips it blindly right in on goal on Kari Lehtinen. Here's Pacioretty toward him, and then Garbutt off the bench collects the puck. Ahead to Fiddler. He'll fire it on in. Back of the net, it's Carey Price. He's made 17 saves in the game. He also has an assist. Price does. Gallagher down the wing. All the way around. On top to Subban. Real cutesy, and then he gets it back from Bullion for a shot that's deflected wide. Subban again. Bullion, people in front. Shot it, deflected. Kari Lehtinen stops play. But not the action.
Yeah, there's been a lot of post-whistle animosity.
Dallas Stars coming close on the power play. Tyler Seguin couldn't quite finish. It's 3-2 Montreal in the second.
PK Subban has been front and center all over this one. He's brazen, he competes, terrific puck skills. Certainly showed that here through 2 periods. A couple of primary assists and a goal himself. Beautiful meandering moves to set up Desharnais, and then did it himself 4-on-4. Found a little wind and some space and stuck one past Kari Lehtinen. Came into the game third in NHL defenseman scoring. I'm still mystified as to why there is not a trophy for this, by the way.
Yep.
Duncan Keith and Erik Karlsson, the fabulous Erik Karlsson in Ottawa, up above him. Subban and Markov finished second and third in D-man goals last season. Markov's been turnstiled a couple of times in the game here tonight. Cole in the first period and Seguin just before we went to break.
Beverly and Desharnais. Penalty against Vern Fiddler, and Roussel's able to crank it down the ice.
At the end of that pile down there, so the Habs go back on the power play, and they have a good one.
Second power play of the game for Montreal. Gallagher taking the line. Up there with Pacioretty. There's Desharnais. Down low, and a save from Kari Lehtinen on Pacioretty.
Boy, just enough leverage and defending by Goligoski to hamper that shot, and aided Kari Lehtinen. Gallagher, good work to get in and get set up. He got hounded by a couple of guys, but change the point of attack, set this thing up. Little saucer pass. You can see how Goligoski's stick fouled up Pacioretty's. Alex Goligoski's wearing an A tonight. Boy, there's been quite a sequence of changing A's on jerseys the last little while because of injuries and sickness.
Sudsy and the guys have been busy.
You know, Robidas and Whitney are the regular guys as assistant captains to Jamie Benn. Horkoff was filling in. He's out. Fiddler has one. Goligoski has one tonight.
And Goligoski's clearing attempt hit Desharnais. Eakin to the line, not out. Subban pulls it down. The spin away from Garbutt. Desharnais works it around to Pacioretty. Markov at the other point. Gallagher between the circles. Shot from Markov. Oh, man, did that come in a hurry. Pacioretty at the half wall. Shooting it. Deflected wide. Gallagher tried to work it to the forehand. Went over the net. Desharnais with 45 left on the power play. The Stars chasing the Canadians. Subban missed the net. It comes straight out. Right to Cody Eakin. They can get their change.
Kind of survived that.
Half a minute remaining in the Fiddler Minor. 5:45 to play in the second. The Canadians lead 3-2 in Dallas. PK Subban slowed it down, brought it over, and then goes after it. Aaron Rome in pursuit. Chignet missed it. Jordy Benn does not. Stars get Fiddler back in 5 seconds, so they'll be 2 for 2 on the kill. As Bullion hauls it up to center ice. Fiddler came out of the box. I don't know if Bullion saw him. Diaz shot it in.
Jamie Benn getting some penalty killing time here too, with Fiddler in the box who kills.
And Chiasson to pull away with it out of the zone. Backhand shot by Bourque off the side of the net. Jordy Benn used him from the puck and then fired it off Georges at the Montreal line.
Stars have turned the puck over more here tonight than they have in the previous 3 games of this homestand, especially coming out of their own zone.
Rome having trouble back there with Buchanitz. Jordy Benn, similar issues. And he pokes it out to center ice. Beverly unable to go with it. Corneval tossed it back. There's Crankshaft again. We missed Crankshaft. We're all back in the net. Jordy Benn throwing a very stiff check on Gionta. And Nichushkin firing it out. There goes Cole down the wing. Toward the net. And Murray knocked him to the ice, but not without a battle. Nichushkin with a steal back of the net. Nichushkin all the way around as Cole was cross-checked by Murray in front. Val passing it over. Shot coming in. Price didn't see it, and Cole's relay is blocked. Gons will go back and get it. Nichushkin wants the puck at the Montreal line. He's got it. Leave it for Benn, moving in. Benn, back of the net. Trying to find an option. He'll give it out to Gons. Down towards Seguin, and Georges tips it to the corner. Seguin giving it back to Gons, down to Jamie Benn, a shot. That's blocked, and it's out of play.
Georges has made as many saves as Price, it feels like.
3:28 remaining in the second period. The Dallas Stars continue the homestand against Montreal, but they trail 3-2. Carey Price looking at the face-off in the circle to his left. Jamie Benn and Lars Eller. Eller won it.
Quite a shift by this crew just prior to the break.
Another icing against Montreal.
You watch Jamie Benn go in behind the net with that puck. I think he thought that he was going to be able to lose Carey Price. Moving either way, stopped up on him, then had to feed it back out to the point. They had Nichushkin out there. Nichushkin was dangling a little bit. They've had good pockets of the game. The game seems to have settled here as the second period has moved along. Rather tenuous early on.
Benn on that side of the ice. Chiasson lost the puck to Bouillon. Subban whipped it up off thrust to Naughton, kept it in. Bouncing puck. Jamie Benn's able to corral. Seguin in the corner. Tyler Seguin has an assist in the game. Jamie Benn has a goal. Val Nichushkin has a penalty shot goal. But still the Stars trail. Travis Moen with a pass to Lars Eller into the Dallas zone. Seguin caught him, forced the shot wide. Eller centered it, but right to Chiasson, and back come the Stars. Trying to get numbers at the Montreal line. Chiasson to Benn. Back towards Chiasson. Bouillon broke it up. And here's PK Subban. Up ahead to Travis Moen. Montreal is changing. Dallas just finished theirs. Dylan DeCole, who's had a couple of very good chances again tonight. Wherever we are, whatever day it is. Here's Markov. Pulled it down, shot it, and Nichushkin blocks that. Pacioretty attacked by Rich Peverley. Angles out, and Nichushkin from the line shoots it in. Price back of the net. Moves it. Peverley kept it in with the hip, and then it's launched past him. This is just going to make it for icing.
I think Kari Lettonen's trying to get in the ear of the referees a little bit about getting bumped. One of the goals he got all fouled up on. Moen just moments ago came through and boom. Lost his bearings, needed a GPS. He ran into him right in front of the net. Not as violent as some that we've seen during this homestand.
Stars have the puck again. Goligoski shot it, tipped by Sevier, loose in front. Sevier finding it in the corner now. Shot it off Price. Dylan. Goligoski passing to Colton Sevier. Jeffrey let it through. Fiddler trying to get his stick free. Sevier centered to Dylan. A shot just wide. Sevier backhanding it through Jeffrey. And a save by Georges, I think.
Okay, now.
Oh, my goodness.
Player cannot cover the puck in the blue crease area. Referee was in great position to see what went on after. It's a miracle that this game is not tied right now. Shot wide. There have been a few of those that have gone wide. Now Carey Price had it all the way on the outside of the net. Watch Georges come in here from the bottom of the screen, though. Boy, a lot of guys would panic there and might put it in their own net, shoves it out that side, and then launches himself over there after it. He's been terrific defensively for them here tonight.
5 blocks in the game. Team leading 112. Aaron Rome shooting it wide of the net. Roussel was held up by Murray. Eakin off the boards to Garbutt, who swung it in one motion. Diaz sends it out of play.
Yeah, they block a lot of shots. They lead the NHL in shot blocking, and I think it affects things two ways. Yeah, Murray'd be another one. Kind of has the mobility of a Barca lounger, but he stands in the right spots, absorbs shots. Got a lot of guys back there. They pack them in front of the net. It'll force the opposition not only to shoot it into bodies and waste it, but shoot wide a lot. We've seen that from the Stars throughout.
Buchanan straight back. Diaz. It's a hack from Roussel. Jordy Ben stretched out to keep it in the zone. Murray and Garbutt in a fierce battle for the puck. Cody Eakin trapped by two Canadians. Jordy Ben holding it in, shot it, blocked to the corner. Centering feed, Garbutt can't get the backhander away. Gianta was hanging on him and the Canadians clear. Final minute of the second period. Garbutt makes the catch. He'll take it in, 4 Canadians back. Centered it for Roussel, who was cut off on his way to the net and then shoved in there by Buchanan. Rome hurrying back, dropped it back to the net. Bourque trying to do something with the miscue. Eller handing it off. There's Subban at the line. Tossing it over. Galchenyuk into the corner for Prust. Spinning off Jordy Ben. Prust to the slot. A shot. Lettinen didn't see it. It went wide. Bouillon back of the net. Galchenyuk steps out for Eller. Jordy Ben has the coverage there. Eller shot it back to the net to Prust. Got it back. And Lettinen stretched out.
And the Stars were a mess in their defensive zone coverage. Eakin and Jordy Ben ended up going to the same guy. They got away with it. They were spinning like tops in front of their netminder to finish this second period. Puck came out of the corner. There's a gross missed coverage when you've got everybody down low and nobody on Eller, the center iceman, right in the slot.
So Val Nichushkin gets a penalty shot goal in the second period, but Montreal scores twice, and the Canadians lead the Stars 3-2 after 40 minutes. Got a little bit more combative in the middle frame, and when we come back, Razor will talk to Alex Goligoski. Dallas Stars hockey on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Enjoy all the best savings on America's best-selling brand. Ford is the best in Texas. By AT&T, now get UVerse high-speed internet. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at southwest.com. Just the fourth time in 11 years that Montreal has seen that view. Crazy, you wouldn't know it. These two teams are playing like they just went at it the other night.
Yeah, how many times have we seen that, though, through the years? You get a couple of clubs that never see one another. The games against Ottawa back in the day, they would just break into this. In the beginning of the second period, it was testy, fractious, disputatious, all the aciousnesses. And I think you've got a club that had their game kind of fed to them in the first period by the Stars, who outshot them 11-6, set the pace, dictated play. And the Canadians, finishing up 6 straight on the road, came out and sort of bowled themselves up a little bit, pushed back, set a pace. That man's been phenomenal tonight, PK Subban. He's played 17 minutes of the first 40 and been in on all 3 goals.
Gianta jumps the face-off circle. Roussel trying to keep him away. Rome stepped up for a hit.
Wow.
And I guess we're going to wait. No,
this is like the Winter Classic yesterday when Zetterberg is roaring in on a breakaway overtime and they blow the horn. That's the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen. I hope they amend that.
I can't believe
you can't do that.
No. You can't do that.
You can't do that. No. I'm sure they would take wind in their face to have that play continued rather than changing ends. Oh, that was crazy.
Playing the Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah,
theme.
well, appropriate.
All right.
Somebody with a hair trigger on the horn button down there.
Okay, here we go. It's been a mixed bag, this 6-game road trip from Montreal. The 2-2-1. 3 of the 5 games went past 60 minutes. Some broken up trip 2 with the holiday. 3, then the break, then 3 more. And the Stars becoming a rarefied air. The Canadians 19-0-3 when leading after 2 periods. And Dan Ellis reached out for the catch on the Dallas bench.
It's a bit of a different spot for the Stars here during this home-heavy part of the schedule. I mean, they've been up on most of the opponents 3-1 after 2 periods and been able to go about their business with a 2-goal lead. Instead, they're going to have to go to the riding crop here in the third to even get it back to level.
There's been getting played tonight. 2 points out of the 8th spot in the Western Conference. Top 8 make the playoffs. Seguin chips it. There he goes against Markov. He's got Ben in front, and he can't make the pass across. George has made the play.
Boy, Markov's a wonderful defenseman, but he has really struggled with the speed of Dallas's forwards at times in this one.
Jordy Ben getting back, finding Seguin at center ice. He's engaged, and Gianta whacks it in deep. Jordy to Rome. Seguin left it for Ben. Bork hanging on Seguin as the Stars bring it in. Nichushkin on with this group. Backhand nudge at the net. Save Price. Behind the line, Ben in pursuit. Georges send it off, and Bork heaves it over. Both teams changing early in the third period. 3-2 Montreal. Stars had the initial lead in the game, and Montreal has come back twice to overtake. Eller, Borneball. Backhanded it through and wide. Sevier tried to tip it and go, but Murray pitched. Connaughton absorbing a hit. Beverly working to get it out. Borneball right back over. Cameron Gaunce. Cole let it go, and Plekanec tames it at center ice to Rafael Diaz. Stars and the Canadians both making changes. Starts with 22-17 Dallas. Goligoski with Prust, pounding him against the inboards. Dillon, now Fiddler's in there. 3 Stars, but it's Plekanec with the puck. Pass Prust in back of the net. Goligoski jabbed it ahead. Dillon does the same to get it out. Chiasson down the wing. Fiddler's got some speed built up. Stopped in the corner, gave it to Chiasson. Rushing it out, Goligoski had Jeffrey breaking to the front. And Plekanec trying to break away. Onside, and he rifles it high.
Where Goligoski came back to play him one-on-one, but sort of stood next to him as Plekanec sent that one over top of the net.
Dillon to the line, but right to Subban. Desharnais shooting into the corner.
Stars have got to stop turning the puck over, though, coming up the ice.
Well, they've done a lot of it tonight. Desharnais rotating off the wall. A fierce battle in front of the net. Gallagher jockeying for position with Eakin. He draws a penalty against Dallas' center iceman. Markov drives it into the corner. Extra attacker coming from Montreal. Subban over to Markov. Jeffrey can't get to the puck. Eakin will, and he'll go all the way to the penalty box from there.
A little frustration in a physical battle in front of the net. So a good penalty killer will go off. Ellis Goligoski.
Dallas penalty, 2-minute minor, high sticking.
That play on Plekanec. Also back against him. He got his stick tied up in Plekanec, who kind of multitasked on that one. The jockeying in front, 2 similar type guys, and then that. Got Eakin 2 minutes. They need to kill this. 2-goal deficit doesn't smell good in the third period here tonight.
Not at all. Third power play of the game for Montreal. They're 0 for 2. The Stars win another face-off, and back of the net, Rome is able to work it past Markov.
You know, a major factor in the Stars' penalty killing improving from where it was last year. I mean, their home penalty killing last year was second to last in the NHL, but they start with the puck a lot when they kill now.
Oh, the Canadians get it in, and Gallagher bunts it over the top. Pacioretty smashed it off the end boards. And a little chip play in front for Gallagher, who picks up his 11th goal of the season.
Well, this was a puck that went off multiple people on the way to the net, but the Stars have had this infliction all night where they haven't been quick enough to pick things up defensively. I mean, it's an accidental on purpose. Goes wide, comes back against the grain. Kari Lehtinen in full scramble mode couldn't deal with that. Both defensemen were a long way away from the net. Both forwards for the Montreal Canadiens had snuck in behind. And this just gets chunked over top of Lehtinen, who got a lot of it, but not enough as it rolled to the back of the net. So the guy who put him on the power play scores the power play goal, and the Habs have a 2-goal lead.
Their first 2-goal buffer of the night for Gallagher. It's his 11th goal of the season. We mentioned his problems earlier, but he's back on the board. Nichushkin into the zone. Shot it. Save Price. Foul out here with Seguin and Ben.
Well, Val Nichushkin's had a good night tonight. He's getting rewarded for that. And they need some offense. That's obvious.
At least a couple icing against Montreal.
And Brendan Gallagher is another one of these guys that I have great affection for. 146 guys were picked ahead of him, mostly because of his size. But he's so competitive, great heart, scored 8 goals, had a dozen points in the first month and a half of the season. Got sick, and then came into the game here tonight with just 2 goals in the month and a half since. But he's been impactful here tonight. Their top guys have played well.
The Cannons wins a faceoff. Cole gets it back. Gave it to Peverley. Gianta was there. Connaughton blasting it. That hits Cole, goes to the corner for Sevier. To Peverley, back of the net. Wrapping around to Cole, and he couldn't finish the play. Sevier put it back of the net for Peverley. Cole barging through. Passing off, but right to Gianta. The Canadiens bring it up. Bork searching for it. Couldn't get away from Gauntz. Connaughton striding up to center. Peverley knocked it over the line, and Subban passing it back into Dallas ice. Pacioretty and Desharnais with the assists on that power play goal. Montreal's looking for more. Galchenyuk shot it out. Bouillon to Eller, back of the net. Bourneval gave it, and Bouillon shot blocked. Subban put it deep again. Montreal running around a bit in the Dallas zone, and Gauntz will use the glass to clear.
I think that pair on defense has been pretty good for the Stars tonight. Gauntz and Connaughton.
Again, limited experience at the NHL level for both. Gauntz played just 11 games last year prior to this year. And he's under that with the Stars. Connaughton just slightly over it.
That's where the Stars are having all kinds of difficulty tonight, though. Pucks in and pucks out at the 2 blue lines.
Get this one in, and Fiddler sent a rising shot to Price, who blocked it into the corner. Desharnais whipped it out. Gallagher to center. Goligoski passing to Dillon. And Jeffrey's pass off the mark for Goligoski. He's got to chase it with Gallagher all over him in the Dallas zone. Desharnais found it. Into the near boards. Pacioretty tapped it deep. And here comes Garbutt to center ice. Eller cut him off. Goligoski carries on. Wants to make a pass and does. Eakin on his backhand twisted it just wide. Roussel flung it, and that hits the bodies in front. A big pile-up. It's under one of them. It squirts free. Backhander by Eakin is somehow fought off. They center it, jab away at it. Roussel says it's in.
I think he might be right. There's anarchy on the outskirts of that scoring attempt. This will be a difficult one to pick up from the eye in the sky, too, I think. Eakin feeling like he needs to get something back after taking the minor, and the Stars giving up the power play goal. Came close.
Montreal leads 4-2, or do they? We'll take a look at it and show it to you when we come back.
Antoine Roussel maybe a little premature with the celebration, but he was in a spot where he was blocked out by Carey Price. He did good work to keep Price from smothering the puck up in this mad scramble in front. Price comes out to get it. Roussel comes in, nudges it free. They continue on. Price just sat on it. I spoke too soon about the overhead. The eye did pick it up. Rattled around, danced maybe 6 inches from the line, and Price was able to squeeze the pillows, close the play down. Good aggressive shift by that line. I was thinking just prior to that, though, before the Stars brought it up the ice, and they're going to get a power play out of that. Gallagher, tit for tat, I guess, will sit. But the Stars have been forcing issues where maybe they shouldn't be forcing issues with the puck in their own zone and up the ice a little bit. It's a pretty big power play on home ice now.
Third power play of the game. Montreal just scored to give the Canadians a 2-goal buffer. Jamie Benn and company trying to get it back. Benn poked it. Sagan at the line for Alex Goligoski. Chiasson's in front of the net. Cole between the circles, and there's Benn settling it with the skate. Looking to shoot, feathers it out to Goligoski. Took his eye off it, worked it back to Benn. Down to Sagan. Fakes, tapped it in front, and nobody can finish. Benn, trouble with Moen, who clears.
And Tyler Sagan elected that time to double clutch and go against the grain, but I think he had Carey Price beat if he'd have pounded it off the pass. Easy to say in makeup from 200 feet away.
Chiasson rescues the puck. Goligoski shot it, saved Price. It rattles around, and he's got it in his gear.
You know, he's got such a ungodly one-timer from the right side. Gets across. He was down at that severe angle that forces the goaltender to cover a lot of real estate. Comes across, short side high. He can do it. They had everybody in Canadian uniform swimming a little bit. A dandy pass on the opening goal of the night to Jamie Benn. He was trying to do the same thing, I think, on that one on the power play.
Stars leave Sagan out here on this second unit. Or maybe he just stayed.
Eller won that draw. He's about the only guy on their side that's been able to win with any kind of consistency. Although they got a lot better in the second period than they were in the first.
Sagan comes bolting in. He shoots. He scores!
What an answer. Something that Lindy Ruff and his staff have been reluctant to do in leaving either Benn or Sagan out for the second half. This is just Will. Walks in and a weapons-grade slapper rises over the right shoulder of Carey Price and gets the Stars the proximity goal. I've said it a million times already. I've never seen anybody spank the puck when it's rolling or a bad pass the way Tyler Sagan can. What a ripper. And another multi-point game,
yeah,
of course.
His 12th multi-point game of the season. That leads the Stars second in succession and 7th in his last 13 games.
He just keeps alternating them. Since he came back from those concussion-like symptoms, 7 multi-point games, 7 games with no points. It's the on night here tonight.
Yes, good. Good. We need the on night tonight. Team leading 21st goal of the season. 5th on the power play also leads the Stars. And they're within a shot. Subban firing it back in. Kevin Connauton, who has an assist in the game, pauses to take a look and gives it to Gauntz. Across the ice for Cole. Trying to slip past Eller. Nudging it forward to Peverley. He shoots and a save Price. Peverley rescuing. To Goligoski. Shot from Dillon. He scores! And we're tied at 4.
Boy, how's Michel Therrien feeling? They had a 3-0 lead in the third in Carolina. They had a 2-goal lead here that has just evaporated. Great rush by Peverley and Cole as they burst down the right wing side, and then a wicked slap shot by Dillon, whose shot has improved over his year and a half in the NHL. Perfect screen set up in front. Another rolling puck. This one just mystified the glove of Carey Price on the short side. Wonderful work by everybody in Victory Green to get this level at 4. What a game.
Dillon's 5th of the season has tied the game, and they're all standing in the lower bowl as Goligoski looks for the lead. Takes it all the way in back of the net. Tried to center it, backhander by Eakin, saved Price. Stars storming here again. Roussel tried to fire and he stripped. And Goligoski back to Dillon. It's Dillon's first goal in 18 games. Markov hounded. Georges fires it out. Gallagher to the line for Desharnais. Rome has him. Lost him. Jordie Benn plants him back of the net. Crowd urging on the Stars. Pass one off Garbutt's helmet. He'll chase Murray into the corner. Rafael Diaz under extreme duress provided by Vern Fiddler. 3 Canadians, 2 Stars, and Jeffrey came out with the puck but couldn't get it to the net. Montreal has to feel like they just got punched in the stomach twice. Rome works it out. Jeffrey across the ice. Jordie Benn will find it in front of his own bench and heave it over. Fiddler goes after Crankshaft. Fiddler centers it. Just kicked aside and Jeffrey would have had an open net. Back come the Canadians. Gianta. And he's caught. Centered it. That hit Connaughton. Now the Stars will go. Chiasson ahead with Seguin and Connaughton joining at the line. Chiasson sending it in. Diaz back of the net. Turned it over to Benn. Diaz fought back. Buchanan sent it forward. And there's Bouillon at center ice. Things can happen quickly for the Dallas Stars. Oh, what a move by Nichushkin to get in. And then Subban fought him off. Donks in between. He'll back out. Now Eller pulls up. Shot it. He scores. What a shot by Lars Eller. And the Canadians take the lead. It's 5-4.
Well, I just had this conversation with James Patrick this morning about his defenseman blocking shots, and he's a big believer in keeping your feet. That's why Goligoski hit the deck early. Kari Lehtinen was in no position to deal with this. He never squared up to Eller, anticipating a pass more so than a shot. Goes down. This goes short side and over top of him. He was worried sick about a pass in front of the net, not the shot, and it was costly. They got a counter punch again.
For Lars Eller, it's his 10th of the season. And Montreal has a 5-4 lead.
Last shot wins.
Yep. Eller spun into trouble. Jordie Benn rifled it into the corner. Sevier's over there with Eller. Oh. Shadowing the pile, and it's pushed out. Travis Moen got it to center ice. With another broken stick. Eller in again for a shot and a save, and Lehtinen gets the rebound. As Lars Eller has taken things on his own shoulders here late in the third.
The Dane is trotting.
Crazy game at American Airlines Center. The Canadians lead the Stars 5-4 with under 9 minutes to play.
Well, the Stars need this trend to continue on. They're down by a goal past the midway point of the third. They're outscored their opponents 5-2. The last half dozen home games. Well, just like we promised earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite Ketchup on the offense. A spasm of it here in the third period. Gallagher got it started on the power play for Montreal. They have bookended 2 Dallas Stars goals. Seguin on the power play to get them back to within 1. Then Dillon ties it at 4. But Lars Eller just moments ago, a bad goal against Kari Lehtinen, who was down and not facing the shot, got beat up over top of his shoulder. That is the difference in the game right now. Crazy game.
4 goals in 7 minutes and 9 seconds. Eakin tied up. He rocked Desharnais. Goligoski with the puck back in the net. Pass out to Roussel, flicked it on to Garbutt against Subban. Blocked, but stays in play. Dillon tried to keep it in. This leads to a 2-on-1. Desharnais with Gallagher. Desharnais tried to move it. Goligoski makes the play, and then off the ricochet, he'll pick it up. And even to Garbutt, who dropped it at center and then spins his way into the zone. Subban buries him. Roussel trying to answer back on Subban.
Game is unhinged right now. It's unbridled.
Crazy. Eakin with a huge body hit on Gallagher.
Those two have had something going on throughout the game tonight. A couple of Western Hockey League forwards.
Fiddler lost it in his skates. Centering feed to Gianta, and a save by Lettman. He had to have that one. Gianna from the wing shot it. Connaughton, who's got 2 assists in the game, blocked it. Back of the net, Bourque. Turned it over to Fiddler. And he cranks it out. It hits the Montreal bench.
The game at times tonight has been too fast for both sets of defenses. Kari Lehtinen with a couple of mastodonic stops after giving up that go-ahead goal to Eller. I mean, it's just happened so rapidly that they've been chasing, they've been spinning like tops. You've seen some veteran defensemen get danced one-on-one. Bad decisions up ice. It just takes a second, and there's an odd man rush going the other way.
Van off the faceoff, comes to center ice. Connaughton jumping to join in. Price back of his net, whipped it around. Nichushkin has it, centered it, and that's tipped off the glass. Connaughton two-handing it in deep, back of the net. Crossed into the middle of the ice for Eller. The latest goal scorer in the game. Mullen dragged his skate to stay onside, and at this time, Lettinen finds Eller's bid.
Well, we'll try to sum this game up. For you, compliments of 4. Good luck, yeah. Stars are trying to keep their point streak alive. 5-0-2 in their last 7 games. They're going to need some offense to keep that rolling. Subban's been terrific. Those Pacioretty who opened the scoring for them. Sagan, a goal and a helper for the Stars. You know, you forget about some of the other individuals who've been tremendous here tonight. You know, Georges for them. On defense with all those block shots. Cole's been all over this game for Dallas again.
By the way, we had a penalty shot.
Penalty shot.
Nichushkin. Crazy night. You got your money's worth tonight, I'll tell you that. Icing against Dallas.
So this is only the Habs' 6th visit to American Airlines Center since it opened in 01. Kind of wish they'd come back more often. Well, they'll be here every year going forward. Everybody goes to everybody's building.
$7:10 to play in the third. Plekanec and Peverley in the circle to Kari's left. Barneval shot it over the top of the net. Sevier tips it forward. Peverley cranked it out. Cole's looking for it. He had some great early chances.
And you can just sense the desperation on both sides, though, in this game. I mean, it is full tilt and has been for a while.
Sevier securing it, flipping it out to center ice. Diaz. Plekanec fired it in, and then Cole ran into him. Goligoski with a little open ice. Sevier lost it. Desharnais is in. Save Lettinen. And the net is dislodged by Desharnais.
Tough one on Sevier, who just made his way from Cedar Park here today to jump into the lineup. Got that puck right in neutral ice. He played so well for the Stars prior to getting sent back down. Another Boffo stop by Lettinen. On right with Desharnais, who ran his face into the goalpost on the tail end of that. It's kind of the way the game has gone, though. You know, one little miscue, one error, one puck error, and bang, on the trot going the other direction.
Puck goes back into the Montreal zone. Price has it behind the net to Diaz, off to the side. That's 29-24 Dallas, 5-4 Montreal. Pacioretty with Desharnais, gives him the puck. Lettinen spun around and made the stop. Into the slot it goes to Garbutt. Ahead to the Montreal line. He'll tip it in away from Diaz. They'll go after it with Murray. Into the corner, and Eakin tried to center it to Roussel, who was alone. Pacioretty takes a big hit from Roussel. The Stars come right back across. but they're changing. So Goligoski pumps it off Desharnais and over the screen into the seats. Less than 6 minutes to play. Kari Lehtonen wanted that Lars Eller shot back. Well, he's atoned and then some to keep Dallas within a shot late in the third. You know, like Stefan from Saturday Night Live, this game has everything. We've literally seen everything tonight. The face-off now to Carey Price is right with 5:47 to play and Dallas needing a goal to tie it at 5. Ben and Plekanec are in there. Ben kicks it to himself. Bullion. Now Ben centered at Seguin. Bumped off the puck in front by PK Subban. Plekanec back into the Dallas zone. Stars have 4 back. They're chunking around to Gionta. Bork was lingering in front. Nichushkin will get it and go. Val all the way across the ice, but right to Subban, and he'll hoist it off the glass toward the Dallas line, and it's out of play.
And into the penalty box. Connaughton and Gauntz have been out here a lot with the Ben Seguin, Nichushkin trio. Right from the face-off, Ben so competitive on the draw. Ends up grabbing this puck. Carey Price makes a nice stop with his left pad. Just whip it toward the net. Little deflection, handles that as Subban handles Seguin in front of that. It was actually Subban's stick that it went off of. The Habs leading scorer.
Face off, the Price is right again. Beverly won it, but right between Cole and Rome out of the zone. Eric Cole, 5 goals in his last 8 games, 2 of them game winners. Beverly whipped it across. Moen cut off Rome. Stars were offside, and Rome took a pretty good hit there in front of the Montreal bench.
He was in a bad spot, and Moen, who's a heavy hitter, stapled him right to Moxie's grill. Well, that's a tough spot. He went puck poking and paid for it. He's been rocked a couple of times in the game. Looked violent, even more violent in slow motion than it did in real time.
Face off outside the Montreal line. Beverly and Desharnais. Canadians get to it, but the Stars control. Brendan Dillon, most recent Dallas goal scorer. Back in off Lehtonen to Goligoski.
Stars got pressing a lot early, and the Habs able to generate some odd man rushes and speed plays because of it.
Jason drags it, shot it, tipped just wide. Back of the net, Beverly. Fighting with Desharnais. On his backhand, whips it back of the net. Jason trying to escape Josh Georges. And then he lost the puck. Gallagher out to center ice. One of 9 different goal scorers in the game. There's another. Pacioretty to himself, and Dillon stayed with him to block it. Time of factor, 4:10 left in the third. Dillon on his own, swept it in past Diaz. Fiddler with some jump into the corner. Diaz able to help it away. Pruss knocks it out to center ice. And Cameron Gauntz there to get it for the Stars. Pass up ahead, blocked by Eller. Gauntz reorganizes to Connaughton. Fiddler got it over. The Canadians launch it back down. This will be icing against Montreal.
Give us a chance to present tonight's Tuwaka shot of the game. I mean, you can pick a bundle of them. We're going to go back to the penalty shot for Val Nichushkin in the second period. He was hauled down when they were playing four-a-side, walked in, money. No way Carey Price was anticipating there was going to be a shot. Rattled it in off the pipe. That tied the game at 2.
Seems like a long time ago. Benn off the boards. Benn to Seguin. Tried to cram it in on the side. Someone is missing a stick.
It's Murray. You got a stick from Prust, the forward.
Goligoski holding it in at the line to Benn. Dillon wants it. Dillon's got it. Dillon shoots it and a save Price. Prust without a stick, eyes Goligoski. Benn tried to get it over, and the Stars with a loose pass there. Murray shot it down.
With Prust's stick. That's why you interchange.
Under 3 minutes to play in the third. 5-4 Montreal. Goligoski barreling ahead. He'll shoot it in and go after it and Bouillon deep.
He did the same thing last shift, like a rover.
Bouncing puck cleared. They got a man breaking. It's Bourque. He's in. He shoots and a save Lettinen.
You know, the last time Goligoski went in and went deep into the zone, Cole was on the ice. He backed up as a defenseman. This time, nobody was backing up.
Stars changing. Here comes Beverly. And Cole could not get himself back on side.
They just keep pressing and pressing and pressing. And Montreal keeps trying to hang on and counterpunch whenever the puck does get turned over. What a fabulous game. It really has been. Lots of speed. There's been animosity. Both power plays have clicked. The goaltending's been huge at times. Leaky as a teabag at other times.
45 combined hits in the game. Cole shooting that off Subban. Going with him in the corner. Subban down in a heap. It squirts in front, and Price reels it in before Peverley can get to it.
The battle for a puck. Boy, Cole's strong on his skates. Weebles and he wobbles, but he won't fall down. Puck squirts out of there, and just ahead of Peverley is Price's paw. I would take some defensive hiccups from a guy like PK Subban for where you can get going the other way.
Absolutely.
The wildest colts make the best horses, Ralph.
Yeah. I know that's true. Oh, Cole had it cocked. He couldn't get it off. Prust out to center ice. Well, as long as you have the puck, they can't score. Subban has the puck a lot. The goal and 2 assists in the game tonight. Markov, who spotted a bit for Josh Georges. Rink wide. Garbutt intercepts. They're in and onside. Tried to flick it over toward himself or Peverley, and it's cleared. Under 2 minutes to play. Kari Lettinen still in the Dallas net. See what happens here. Kari's got his arm in the air. Connauton racing ahead to center ice into the Montreal zone. Swinging wide. Getting past Georges. Kari stays put for the moment. Connauton centered it. Eakin tried to poke away at it. Roussel's there too. They go out to Goligoski for a shot. Roussel couldn't tip it home. Connauton all over the place. Moving around, a backhander, and Price makes the stop, and that should bring Lettinen out. I'm assuming after Lindy Ruff takes his timeout.
Brendan Dillon was standing at the gate with the gate open waiting for Connauton to change. And he could never get himself off. He went one rush up the ice, tried to get off the second time. Just kept throwing it toward the net. Very active shift by Kevin Connauton, who's had a good game. The two of them talk over. I saw him look back. He wanted to get off, but the puck came right to him. So the Stars take their time out. I suspect with the dominance they've had at times in this game in the face-off circle that they'll just leave Lettinen on the bench. He's already over there and standing in behind everyone, so that's done. And they will try to force overtime here on home ice with a goal in the final minute 21.
What a game. Dallas opened the scoring, led 1-0. Canadians went up 2-1. Stars tied it. Canadians went up 4-2. Stars tied it. And then the Canadians got their lead back 5-4 with 81 seconds to play.
Boy, if they can't get this back to level, that winning goal is what it will be from Eller is going to be a stinger. He made, 5 or 6 terrific saves right after that. Make sure they didn't get more. So here you go. Heverly, who's about, close to 70% the last couple of weeks in the circle to take this draw.
He's 80 tonight, 16 out of 20. He'll try Eller. Won it. Goligoski tried to bang it over and it pinballs to center. Goligoski to the wing. Ben steering it down the boards. 1:10 to play. 5-4 Montreal. Subban lifting it out. It's on its way toward the net. Pacioretty's got a slam dunk.
Well, Max Pacioretty made 2 terrific plays in this entire sequence. The Stars win the faceoff, but he's the guy that roared out there and didn't give them free rein on it. And the move point after. Lob. Wide stride underneath that. Nobody was going to catch him. A yawning net. So a pair of goals for him. Their 2-goal lead is restored.
And Subban with another long assist. Goal and 3 helpers. Last year's Norris Trophy winner. Getting the attention of Lindy Ruff and the Team Canada squad. Under a minute remaining now. 6-4 Montreal. Steam has sort of gone out of things here. Connaughton fighting with Moen. Pucks in the down the zone. Roussel trying to go. To Eakin at the line. Nudged it over. It's cleared back. Jordy Ben. For Antoine Roussel. Hacked. Couldn't drag it in. Lettman started toward the bench. Galchenyuk, from whom we've heard little, threw it in, and a penalty coming up for slashing. Can only assume it's on Roussel.
So he'll add to his team-leading penalty minutes. For the big boys. The big boys for the Montreal Canadiens really came to play and broke out here tonight. Subban, who would probably be my #1 star in this one. Front and center in there. There was the slash on Subban, unnecessary, and Stars will finish this game on the PK unless the Habs score their 7th.
Goligoski lifting it out. So they will not pick up points tonight. 4th game of a 5-game homestand. 2-1-1. And they'll finish it up against Detroit on Saturday.
Man, they had things going in such a good direction there for a while when they scored those 2 goals. They gave up a power play goal and then bang, bang. Sagan on the power play. Dylan with the tying goal. Looked like we were going to head at least to overtime here if they had so much momentum. You felt like they were going to get the go-ahead goal and probably leave the Habs in their vapor trail. Instead, they gave up that crusher to Eller. The difference in the game.
60 combined shots, 47 combined hits, 9 different goal scorers, and at the end, the Montreal Canadiens prevail with a 6-4 win in Dallas. Tonight's game produced by Jason Walsh and directed by Mark Vittorio. The associate producers are John Sponsler and Doug Foster. For Daryl Ray and the rest of the gang, I'm Ralph Strangis. Hang on, post-game show is coming up now.